guaranteed. Let me see the moves, Bill. Come on, Bill.
I'm off of my choreography this week. You know what I mean? Welcome to another week of We Sound Crazy, your official backstage pass to all things music and culture. Billionaire Thornton is in the building.
Claude Kelly is in the building.
Chuck Harmony is definitely in the building.
Simone Bacon from Macon is here. What's going on?
But wait,
Yeah.
But wait.
there's more.
So I got to tell you, I was flying back from Los Angeles, which we'll talk more about later in the episode, but I was
always
on the
flying.
flight back.
Always on a flight.
I was on the
Always.
flight. I am always on the flight.
Getting
though.
flued out.
He's a jet setter.
Yeah.
He's a jet setter.
So I'm at the baggage claim, and somebody walks up with all this Gucci on.
Gucci.
Yeah. It's like Gucci head to toe. I want to say he had Gucci on head to toe.
I kind of like that.
And,
Style. It's called style.
I didn't realize he was on my flight because I was a zombie walking onto the flight, to be honest. And my brother, he's here with us today. He said, "Man, I got to come on this podcast."
Come on, man.
That's what he said. His baggage claim. We both waiting on bags. And I said, "Man, let me see if I can get the band together, man. I'm hitting y'all at midnight. I'm hitting everybody. Shout out to the crew. Shout out to Aaron, Tiffany,
Mike.
Guru, everybody.
Yeah,
everybody
man.
got midnight text
sure
messages.
did.
Yeah. So-
Absolutely.
But I got a great longtime friend. He's a songwriter, Grammy Award songwriter and producer.
multiple Grammys.
Music composer, music supervisor. He did the Jingle Jangle on Netflix. We're going to talk about that too. Television host.
Yeah.
Had his own TV show he hosted
You
on
see what I'm saying to you?
CBS, I believe it was.
You feel me?
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Philip Lawrence is in the building.
Hey, the great Philip Lawrence.
The greats.
So we got two
Man.
Phillips today.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me.
Man,
Yeah, man.
Are you kidding me? This is what this is about. This is about getting people on here that know what the hell they're talking about.
You know, this is the first time I've done one of these where, I got paid. So I really appreciate it. It just means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how much the concert. Let's keep this shit going, people, okay?
That's how we starting, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was
With the
funny.
zeros, I'm like, all right, I'm going to come to Nashville.
I'll be there. Oh, God. Nah, for real, though, it's good to have you, brother.
Man, I'm so
man.
happy to
Seriously,
be
there's
here,
a lot
man.
to talk about.
There's a lot to cover, man.
A lot to cover.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you started with Phil Thornton, billionaire. You started with a new addition, but Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis
Yeah.
Iconic.
just got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Ooh,
Yeah, wow.
You know how crazy that is?
that's crazy.
For songwriters and producers to get nominated and inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, man.
There's a Songwriters Hall of Fame. They're in that one too. Mm-hmm. But Rock and Roll is like, it's rarefied.
That's rare.
there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
Yeah.
say. It's crazy.
They're one of me and Chuck's biggest inspirations. So it was I call him like, yo, you saw that? Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's get to work.
I mean, but what they created, man, and the consistency at the level in which they created is unlike anything. Well, they definitely don't get, in my opinion, as enough credit as they should, as they deserve. But when you look at their Rolodex,
It's
of
heavy.
people that they've worked with and delivered for, and then you look at their discography, it's just like decade after decade.
Every
And when we were working on We Being Bruno Mars. You guys heard of Bruno Mars?
Bruno.
we heard.
Bruno.
He's a little upstart. We heard. Google him. Yeah,
We've heard.
I think he's on Google.
Okay,
I
let's
think.
see.
We had a chance because they're also our musical heroes.
Yeah, man.
And we had a chance to be in the studio with them working on that album.
That's crazy.
And just to know, because we all know, how hard it is to write a good song.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing.
No.
Sometimes it can take a really, really long time. So to know that for the majority of what they were doing, it was just them two.
Yeah.
Writing and producing those
Yeah, man.
records.
On that Janet Jackson documentary that came on like a year ago, Phil? Maybe about a year.
It was
some change.
earlier this year, yeah.
My favorite part of the whole documentary was the part when she was in the studio with them and they were fighting with her and trying to get her to do it, and she was cussing them out and come out the booth because you don't get to see them in the studio.
Right.
You just hear the
Right.
magic when it's done.
Right.
I was like, oh, so they be going the same bullshit we go through in the studio.
Same.
And there's always that that moment where, especially when you're working with other artists, where like it can be tense because you're all trying to fight for the same thing, but you might not be on the same page that day.
Right.
And in my mind, I just never imagined that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and Janet Jackson were ever duking it out like that in the studio.
That pressure makes
Absolutely.
diamonds, though.
Literal diamond album.
Yeah.
But it makes you feel better about the fights you've had.
Absolutely, because it's normal.
My heroes did the same thing.
It's normal.
Okay.
It's normal.
It's normal.
There's too many to pick a favorite, but on to this day, what would be your favorite Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis song production?
Oof.
I want all y'all to answer that actually.
Oof.
Just today, because I know there's too many to pick a forever
so
favorite,
many.
but today.
I mean, the one you just played,
Yeah.
Ooh. If It Isn't Love.
Phil, if it isn't love for you?
Well, I might even go the Boys to Men route.
Ooh.
That On Bended Knee
You know what I'm saying? Those changes.
Man.
might be a contender. Let me put my ballot in that basket.
I
right
like
now.
that because also Boys to Men don't get their credit.
They don't get their credit.
Yeah.
Oh God, give me the reason.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
great one.
Who dares to go next?
Who dare?
What you got, Timon?
I have one. So I just went to Mary J. Blige's concert here.
I'm
in
about to say
Nashville.
mine. God dang it.
And everything is probably one of my favorite Mary J. Blige records of all time.
Good Lord.
Just the way the record comes in.
The production, man.
The production, like just everything about it is just chef's kiss. So
I would fall so deep in love that your love can be replaced.
Man, come on.
MJB, the queen.
Crazy.
Well done.
you know,
Alright, Paul.
she's one of, we talk about Janet and Jimmy and Terry all the time, but I think she's another female that they just have amazing chemistry with.
do.
So yeah.
I would say, even though everyone knows them for Janet, first of all, the Rhythm Nation album changed my life.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite albums of all time. And even though they're known for them, I gotta say that lately, I keep playing Escapade.
That intro on Escapade.
Because there's something about the way they make her, but in general, their songs always sound like, even if it's mean or it just sounds like joy.
Yeah.
But it's hard as hell at the same
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Escapade is my joint.
This reminds me of a Prince record too.
Yeah.
Very Minneapolis.
Let's go.
Demita Joe. Janet Demita Joe.
Demita Joe, if you will.
All right, so I was gonna pick Janet, but now I'm gonna be just because you picked Janet, I can't pick Janet.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, but I do want to give honorable mention to this one. This one, just the way it comes in. This is not my song, but this is a Jimmy and Terry joint. I just love the intro.
This is Yolanda.
Give me a beat.
I just love the way this comes in. Man.
Of course.
Okay, that's not my one though.
It's an epic intro.
Of course.
So the one I'm picking, I know my brother LB gonna have my back over here.
Let's see.
This is one that
Shout out LB. He's in the. Y'all can't see it, but he in the building.
Bizzle.
LB in the building.
on
So
now.
this is one that I don't know if a lot of people may not even realize this was Jam and Lewis. I know this crew knows.
Yeah.
There was a group years ago in the 80s named the Force MDs.
Yo.
Tender Love.
Yes.
Tender love,
Background.
love so tender, holding me close to you. Baby, I surrender.
Man, come on, man.
Force MDs.
Take the
man.
stage, take the stage.
Take the stage. Chuck Harmony.
My pick for today.
Today.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna bring it back to today. It's we went to the Janet Jackson concert maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, and all Janet music slapped, right?
Yeah.
But the new shit that Jimmy Jam and Terry
last
Lewis
album?
did on Janet, No Sleep, that slapped with the best of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A record.
That's a good record. That's a good record.
We ain't gonna get
Man.
no sleep.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Strong J.
I mean,
Strong J.
Strong J.
they're the goats. That's goats.
Yeah,
That's
man.
I think we say icon and legend probably too loosely, especially when it comes to like creators. You do one hit and everyone's like, man, you're just
Like Glorilla
you're
legend.
Glorilla legend. You know what I'm saying? Ice Spice, just
Legend out
iconic.
here. Iconic.
Iconic.
Nah, their catalog. First of all, we went from the '80s
Yeah.
to now.
2000s, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was nothing but literally hits.
You know, that unfortunately short-lived time span we had with them in the studio was really only a couple days, but we got to see them do their thing, like jam. And, you know, because that's a lot of the times how we write, just from a jam session, you know, and ideas will come up. And Terry picked up the bass.
Shit.
And Jam got on I think it was the Moog. Was he on the Moog? I think he was on the Moog. And we just kind of fell back, and they were in their own world. And you could hear, you know, had we been able to, you know, and if y'all watching, we got to bring y'all back to the studio. But if we were able to continue that process, I wonder where that would have led to. Because by the end of like that jam session, you could kind of start to hear how Jimmy Jam would play a lick, and he'd be like, that's like a hook, and you would hear him play it again, and you're like, wait a minute, there's a song forming. It's just like, it was amazing to watch that, you know, at that level. I'm some bad boys. Congratulations, boys.
They deserve.
Congrats, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame legends.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Jam and Lewis.
So that happened.
We sound crazy.
Hot damn.
Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot.
Hot what? Damn.
And my band about that money. Break it down.
Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Hello?
Man.
So that's Uptown Funk for if you've been under a rock. For, Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk, co-created by our brother today, Philip Lawrence.
Wow.
So I gotta this is an amazing stat. First of all, 6 certified diamond records according to the RAA.
Crazy.
So you got Uptown Funk, Just the Way You Are, When I Was Your Man, That's What I Like, Locked Out of Heaven, and of course Grenade, which you co-created with Claude Kelly.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Money.
But
We out
6,
here.
no, but take that in 6 diamond.
Yeah.
6.
And it said brings the overall total of single sales to over 91.5 million in the US.
Wow.
91.5 million.
Hello.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus.
Numbers.
Man.
That's a couple.
Deserved.
What do you remember most about creating Uptown Funk in particular?
How long it took.
Really?
It's a long time.
It sounds like y'all were just jamming and the shit came
Yeah,
out.
that's what it feels like.
It was like a year-long jam.
It's like it took some time.
It took some time. But, you know, and that could be said for a few of our songs. 24 Karat Magic took that long. I think we are such, you know, band-oriented writers. You know, get everybody together and let's jam and let's see what comes out of it. That a lot of times, you know, that process is a little more tedious because you have to kind of sift through and, you know, remember the magic because you don't want to stop the magic when it's happening. You got to kind of go back and figure out what is special about something. And, you know, that song was born out of sound check on tour. So, you know, we were kind of in between albums, and I don't think at the time we really quite had our finger on what was going to happen next and what the sound was that was happening next. And it was a little bit of a frustrating period, I think. And so we just kind of started jamming during sound check and decided to kind of like let it all go. Let's let the pressure go. Let's let, you know, the expectations go of, you know, what we had done before, which is almost impossible to do.
It's hard to live up to your own shit sometimes.
Absolutely, you know? But what we remembered was, this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
There we go.
You know, when we get back to the fun, when we get away from the fun, that's when the stress comes in and you know, writer's block and all these things that keep us from, you know, the truth, you know. And we just started jamming. And we started to jam with Trinidad James, All Gold Everything.
Yeah.
That was our shit at that time. You know, I think that was everybody's.
Of
course.
And we could, like in LA when we were coming up, you know, one of Bruno's favorite thing is mashups. So we would always try to put something with something and try to create something new. So the mashup for that was All Gold Everything, but how can we make it kind of like our thing? And so we were like jamming with different James Brown records. So I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Get Up. With All Gold Everything. So there was just this funk thing happening with this hip hop thing that was just like giving us life.
Wow.
You know, and it wasn't even to like write it. It was just to like, yo, we need to have fun. We need to create, just vibing out. And the vibe just got incredible. And we started to like, and this was not for an audience. This was for us.
Yeah.
So we started choreographing it.
Yeah.
You know, we had steps. He was like, yo, let's get the guys in. It became a thing. And right around that time, Mark Ronson had reached out to Bruno and said he was working on his album. And, you know, I really want you to be a part of the album. Do you have anything? And we were like,
why, yes.
we actually might. You know, there's this thing that we've been vibing on that there might be something there. And I think we had sent him a copy of one of the sound checks. And he agreed. He said, yes. Of course.
Wisely, he said yes.
There. And the rest is history, man. And then, you know, we kind of figured it out maybe about a year. It may have taken less time if we weren't on tour, but yeah, we got there.
That's one of my favorite songs. It's
amazing song.
Yeah, that's one of those multi-generational, multicultural, like, just hearing you talk about it and how it organically kind of came together. Like, you can listen to it and feel like, you know what, it's nothing forced. It's the way it's supposed to be, but everyone can relate to that song. Everyone can feel good listening to that record. And I've always appreciated
some of the
that.
best songs
Thank
happen
you,
that
man.
way though. Like it's
Yeah.
got to be that you have a love for the music and respect. And you kind of get out of your own way, right? We're talking about like sometimes the politics gets in the way of the creativity, and then sometimes you have to shake it off like that.
Absolutely.
And that shake off creates some of the like your new wave. It's
creates a
shaking
new
off
wave
and getting
without
back
you knowing it.
Without you knowing, it creates a new wave. So I mean, I can definitely relate to that. But
And you know, and even with that genre, funk, it's hard. That's hard, man.
Yeah.
Because everything's been done.
Yeah, true.
You know, all the chords, all the licks, you know.
all the
hits.
all the hits, straight up.
And so trying to create something that goes beyond a jam band thing and there's an actual song there is hard. And I think that's what took a song. Is like, if we're going to go in this world, we got to make it special.
That's what I appreciate about that record, because I used to play in those jam bands in college, you know what I'm saying, where we playing the Frankie Beverly and Maze, and we playing the This Is How We Do It, and we playing Brick House and all of those records. And when I heard the record, I was like, man, it's really, really difficult to nail that same feeling and make it original.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so I gave y'all mad props for that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank
Y'all
you.
just keep on doing it. You know what I'm saying? Keep on doing it. Like,
I mean, I
that's one of
taught
so
them. I mean,
many.
when I was teaching them both about the
Here you
craft
go.
of songwriting,
This is a good time to bring this out.
I'm going to do this now on the platform.
Speak, teacher.
I must do this because I don't think that Philip or Bruno or anyone else will ever acknowledge it publicly. But here we are, and we sound crazy.
Yeah.
We're going to acknowledge the vocal lessons.
Yeah. Oh, you want to start there?
I'll start there. Yeah.
Okay, it's a good place to start.
Yeah. Me teaching you both how to songwrite, like just the art of songwriting.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but like all kidding aside, but I got to tell you, I'm kidding for the record, everybody. But
that's the only clip y'all playing. That's messed up, man. They didn't even show me.
but when I met you both years ago, I just remember how much fun in the studio.
Yeah.
Like it was just like a good time. Like it was a studio. It's not still there, so I can say the location, the street.
I don't know. It might still be there.
Okay, it's Sunset in Highland, right?
Sunset in Highland.
Yeah, and I remember just the room right there, and I was like,
the red house.
The little red brick house.
Oh yes, I remember.
On the
I remember
prairie.
it quite well.
Yes, you do.
Absolutely.
But those brothers, literally, you walk in with something like it might be the color you have on the just slogan on your T-shirt or something, and then just making up like a song on the spot. But it just all be fun, spirited fun, just a good time. And next thing you know, it's like in the booth. Yeah,
on the radio.
Going in the booth and
right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I think that was that's what drew us to each other, I think, is, when we met, 2006 maybe?
Yeah.
Man, it was a minute ago. I think both of us were kind of looking for that. Because I was in LA, I had moved from Florida and was kind of bouncing around from studio to studio, and nobody was having any fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Man.
It was like everybody was high
Yeah.
and serious and just mean.
High and serious.
What the hell? High and serious is the worst combination ever.
Ever in life.
Right.
You should be having
You should be
laughter.
having more fun than everybody
More
else.
fun. Get higher, please. And then I think when he and I met, it was like that first night that we met, we wrote, produced, recorded an entire song, and neither of us had ever done that before. Shout out to Keith Harris. He was the one that introduced us.
yeah,
He was there
man.
that night. And
Another Berkeley alum, by the way, Phil, just in case you should know that.
Here we go.
That happened.
you got to give them their moment. That's
Carry on. He always gives me a hard time about this. No, keep going.
yeah, but no, man, that was I love Berkeley, man. Berkeley's.
I mean, we do,
beautiful.
we
man.
do a thing.
Yeah,
Y'all all right.
We do a thing. We provide a service, if you will. Yo, that house though, the studio you're speaking of is kind of legendary.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain places that are magical. I mean, I was only there. I was only there for a day.
It was just a day.
It was literally like a half a day, and the result was Grenade.
Was Grenade. The genius that is, Claude.
I can hear the swelling up.
I'd catch a grenade, oh yeah. Throw my hand on a blade,
so Mark Kelly.
oh yeah. I chose
so
to
Mark
run
Kelly.
up a
I love
tree,
it. Like me?
oh
Yes,
yeah.
boy.
You know
Boy,
I
blessed
told
us
you
back
to
then.
leave,
That was a good day, man.
Take us back. What do y'all remember from that day, though? You know, I got to ask.
He was like, so,
gonna tell us?
so real talk. I'm gonna tell you from my perspective.
Yeah.
So, Brandon Creed at the time, I knew Brandon because both me and Bruno had written for Brandy for the Human album, and I had heard
Long Distance Love.
right?
Yeah.
And I wrote True and Camouflage on that album, and so that's how Brandon was like, yo, I really want you to work with Bruno on his album. Now, the thing about songwriters is that we know each other, but because we're all kind of doing the same thing, you very rarely get to be in the same circles unless you're like at an industry thing. So you just respect things from afar, but you're in your little booth over here doing it. So it's very hard to meet people and be like, let's get together and work.
Right.
So had it not been for him, I never really would have gone over there. But I was in LA, and I was there for, I think, something else. I'm not sure what it was. And I was like, he was like, is there a day you can go over there? And I was like, I'm leaving tomorrow. And so I literally went to the studio before my flight. I think I had a flight in the evening. Yeah, that's why I left.
You were in and out.
I didn't want to leave. I had
You're like,
to go
here's a hit record. I'm out.
because the label was paying for the flight. So literally we went over there, and y'all had the general idea of what was going on, and I just kept hearing. To your point, it was nothing but jokes the whole time. Clowning. One of y'all was in there. It was just clowning about someone and the story. Y'all told me the story and you're doing everything for this girl and she don't give a damn about you. And it was just all this list of ridiculous things. Throw a grenade and jump off a train and just insane stuff. But I mean, the song. It was all musicians in the room, and it kind of flowed in a matter of hours.
Yeah, it was quick.
And I was like, y'all, there's a car outside. And then here's the crazy part. I left and didn't think anything about it. It was just a fun time and went back to New York and went about life. And I think months passed by. And I never heard from Phil or Bruno or Brandon about that. And then it was when the album was done, and I'm starting to see like this, the first single came out and it blew up. I'm like, okay, this is dope. I didn't even think the song was on the album. That's how in the dark I was.
Wow.
And then this is like early Twitter days. I don't know if the label put out a snippet of it or it came out in some way, but it came out like through industry channels, and people started tweeting about it. And I heard it for the first time
Through a tweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had never heard the finished product until it was done.
Wow.
I officially apologize for
No,
that.
but
that's messed up, man.
I'm not saying that's a negative thing because I wasn't worried about it. I knew that it was in good hands. Because I knew what you guys had done. Period. I wasn't like, if I don't hear this, I'm gonna stop it. I was just pleasantly surprised. First of all, by how great it's not good, amazing it sounded.
Yeah.
And then the immediate. This is like when Twitter could really like tell you how your song would do. Now it's a lot of noise, but immediately people were like, yo, there's this song. And people were tweeting me about it. And I was like, oh, we might have something here.
Have one.
Well, newsflash, you have something.
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah.
It's one of them ones.
It's one of them ones.
It's one of them ones.
Diamond.
But it's one of the fastest sessions that I've ever had and one of the best sessions I've ever had because it changed all of our lives in many ways.
In many ways.
And
we were fans of yours. Unbeknownst to you.
Unbeknownst to you.
100%. And I was like, yo, because I think either Brandon or someone had sent us some of your music. It's like, yo, this dude is cold, and listen to the melodies so we kind of had a feeling that there was going to be something special that happened there. But after you left, that song went through hell.
Really?
Hell. And we thought we had it figured out, and we did not. So initially, I don't know what it was. We were, we always trying to be cool, and it backfires. We were doing some kind of 60s thing with it.
Okay.
That fortunately nobody ever heard. But we had this vibe, that we were trying to create, and we had finished it and sent it into the label. And, it was going to be on the album, but nobody really paid attention to it because, it wasn't the version that everyone eventually heard.
Right.
So we're in New York. The label had signed us, had never seen us perform before.
Shit.
And we had this big concert at the Bowery Ballroom.
Bowery Ballroom.
Yeah.
Right? And
very
they had
famous.
invited everybody, like SNL, all the booking agents, like, this was it. And so everybody was sweating like, I really hope these guys can like carry a tune live.
Really hope they're good.
I hope they're more than just jokes.
Right.
I really do. And so we were at the rehearsal the day before trying to figure out how to play Grenade. And the 60s thing was not working.
What? This is news to me.
Yes.
I kid you not.
This is the
That's
story,
crazy.
bro. This is the story because this is how it was born. So it was so frustrating. Finally, by the end of it, Bruno just said, forget it. Let's just do piano and vocal.
Ah.
So we go to the performance, and he starts singing that. And Brody, I think it was Brody on keys. Was Brody? I forget who was on keys. The room stopped. And by the second chorus, the entire room was singing the chorus.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And the label
That's got chills a little
thought
bit.
it was a new song because they had been listening to this
Old
weak
version.
ass 60s version of the song that was terrible and forgettable that we thought was the best. Wow. It's like, yo, they ain't gonna understand this. We on some other stuff.
Man.
And they said, yo, what was that? Grenade, what was that? They was like, no, that's the record. We just gotta, you just didn't hear the produced version. You gotta hear that version. They're like, nah, y'all gotta reproduce that. And that's how
That's
we did it.
crazy.
That's nuts.
That's why I never heard it until
That's
stories
why you
like
never
that.
heard. Yeah.
Wow.
Now that's one of the best stories I heard on We Sound Crazy.
Yes.
Word?
That's
Yes,
crazy.
that's crazy.
We sound crazy.
When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. When the pigs try to get at you, park it like it's hot. Park it like it's hot. Park it like it's hot. And if a nigga get an attitude, pop it like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot. I got the rollie on my arm and I'm pouring Sean Don and I roll the best weed cause I got it going on.
So Snoop is going to be the subject of a new movie from director Alan Hughes. It's a biopic.
Ooh.
I never know whether to say biopic or biopic.
Biopic, however you said. I don't know. What feature it says, according to the Hollywood Reporter, the biopic.
I don't know. Dude, I don't know.
Will feature music from the Long Beach Rappers catalog. Universal Pictures is doing the film, same company who did the NWA biopic.
It's gonna be nuts.
Snoop, what you
Gonna
think?
be dope.
I'm excited.
It's about time.
Super excited.
It's about time.
He got a crazy life story.
Yeah.
And he is like, he's the Black Willie Nelson.
I was just
He
about
is-
to say that. Yeah.
Straight up.
He's iconic. That's an iconic
That's
person.
iconic.
Is this a theatrical release or?
Yeah, apparently theatrical. That's actually the only person Snoop said outsmoked him. He told me Willie Nelson.
Outsmoked him?
Yeah, he said that's the only person that he's ever kind of quit. Like,
He's like, I'm
tapped
good.
out. I'm done. Like,
That's crazy.
Willie Nelson. Funny you say
OG
that.
Willie.
That's a lot of weed.
Yeah.
That's a weed right there.
That's a, you can imagine. Wow. Go ahead on, Willie.
Willie Nelson is that's the icon of icons. But who's gonna play Snoop in it? It's
Ironically, Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson is Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. You've never seen it before.
It's funny because in Straight Outta Compton, Lakeith Stanfield played Snoop in that film in 2015. So I don't know.
did.
They don't list who is actually starring in the upcoming
Because
film,
he has
but
such a distinct look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
And the
does.
way he moves and everything. It gotta be the right casting.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be the
I love
right
Snoop.
casting. Hello?
Man,
Snoop is
special.
I've never met Snoop.
I can't. But that's so hard to believe, bro.
No. There's like a couple people that, there's people that just like, you always run into, and then some people that you never see. I've never even been in the room with
Same.
Snoop. Never.
Never.
You think of something, you see him. I've literally
Not
never
even at
seen
an
him.
award show or anything.
Nope. Never. And I know Phil, y'all are best friends, so.
We sound crazy.
Fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night.
Tis the season.
Tis.
My vocal idol, Donny Hathaway.
Wait, we gotta fill in. So Phil said that he feels like if he could sing, he would sound like Donny Hathaway, and we
Or
told
Luther
him,
Vandross.
and we told him that's a lie. We said he would sound like Donnell Jones.
Or Tony Thompson.
Or Tony Thompson.
I embrace Tony Thompson.
Yeah, Tony Thompson.
And he's salty about it still.
I think Tony Terry.
Tony Terry, yo.
I mean,
the aficionado's like, I mean, it makes some sense.
It makes, yeah.
Wait, play. I need to hear a little Tony Terry just real fast to make it.
With you? Is that the...
Come on, Phil,
Yeah, man.
Phil, just get into this moment and see if you can embody Tony Terry.
Let's all look at Phil.
Let's all see.
Hold on, Phil.
Even the intro is Philly VA right here.
Just like that.
His new debut single.
all you need is the fade and everything.
That's it. Billionaire.
The blonde fade.
I can see it. I can see it. I can see you on the Apollo button.
Yes.
Fuck all y'all singing niggas.
Yeah, that looks so weird.
Your lip sync was TikTok,
that was
right? You know what I'm saying?
I hope the camera was on you.
Yo,
Phil,
Man.
it's Tony Terry.
it's not Tony. So y'all not gonna downgrade me. I'm Donny Hathaway and Luther Vandross in my head, okay?
Come on, man. Tony can sing, bro.
Tony can sing. It ain't Donny or Luther.
Basically, you look like a Tony.
I like a Tony.
Tony Thompson, Tony Terry.
Tony Terry. A Tony. Tony.
Well, I was playing Donny Hathaway because it's the Christmas season.
No, it's the season.
And I was gonna celebrate our brother who did the music in the film Jingle Jangle.
Yes.
In 2020, that on Netflix.
I bet y'all didn't know that.
But you didn't know that.
Jingle Jangle, if y'all, you should watch it every year. It's so damn good, man.
So good.
Oh man, thank you.
Jingle
Amazing.
Jangle, A
Thank
Christmas
you.
Journey.
I know you got your
Christmas
dreams.
journey.
I know you got your dreams out because Christmas music is so much fun to do.
So much fun, and that cast,
Yes.
and the storyline was. I mean, that was. I am a theater kid,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
man.
musical theater is
Yes.
like my shit. We cuss on here.
You can cuss.
Yeah.
Be who I am.
Yeah.
It's my motherfucking shit, nigga. It's my motherfucking shit. And so my whole life I've been wanting to do something like that. And how that happened was me and a couple of my guys, when they were doing The Greatest Showman,
Which another amazing music.
another amazing musical.
Yep.
They were, trying out different writers and producers, and me and my guys submitted a few songs, and we were like right neck and neck with Pasek and Paul. And they went with Pasek and Paul, and they should have gone with them, and they're incredible. But the music supervisor from that movie was a music supervisor for Jingle
Jingle
Jangle.
Jangle. So you remember.
Wow.
So she
Oh,
remembered.
sorry, she remembered.
She remembered. And when David Talbert, who's the writer and director of Jingle Jangle, who had this idea for 20 years and had never found his musical partner.
Crazy.
When Netflix did the deal with him, he went to Julia and said, hey, who would you recommend do this music? I don't know where to start. And she said, you know what? There were these guys that submitted some music.
Wow.
And this is 6 years before.
That's crazy.
And he said, send me some music. And so she sent him 2 of the songs that we submitted for The Greatest Showman. And he said, those are my guys. And what's crazy about it is we got to know each other. He didn't know anything about Bruno. He didn't know anything about me at all.
Wow.
So he was rocking with me early, and we were writing these songs and doing it. And one day he comes over the house, and he's like, all right, this house is a little bigger than I expected. Yeah, and he comes inside and he sees these Grammys and plaques. He's like, nigga, who are you?
Don't you
He
want to
had
know?
no idea.
That's
and it was
crazy.
beautiful, man. It was
That
just
makes
like-
it even better, bro.
It makes it even better.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But shout out David Tower, man.
Nah,
That's
but
my guy.
that's become a Christmas must every year now.
Amen.
It's really, 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 really
it's
a
black.
good, and it's black.
Black and it is.
But it's a really, really good movie and musical. For real, for real.
I mean,
Speaking of musicals, what was the first musical that just kind of took you?
Musical theater kid.
Yeah, you were a musical theater kid. What was the first one that made you go like, wow? Like
The Wiz.
Yeah.
There it is.
I think it was The Wiz.
Yeah.
Ooh, that music, man. That feeling and seeing all the black faces and then seeing Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
like that thing was otherworldly for me as a kid.
The Wiz is so good.
It's so good.
That was the beginning of Michael Jackson and Quincy collab.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's how they. That's
That
how they
shit used to
connected.
scare the hell out of me as a kid.
The whole movie.
What part?
The Mabel King.
Oh,
Yeah, and then the flying
Wings. That shit used to terrify me as a kid.
I'm gonna have to watch that again soon.
Yeah.
That, you almost forget how good the Wiz
So
is.
good.
And the thing is, it flopped back in the day.
And
like,
it
they
flopped.
considered
And
it
it
a
got
flop,
bad reviews.
but it's such a classic now. Like
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's so much black art that has been considered a flop
yeah.
and really went on to be that happens a lot. I feel like, and then it just kind of like takes its time and.
Yeah.
Like Soul Plane?
I would say Soul Plane is a cult classic.
Yeah,
now.
it's a cult classic.
I'm saying, but initially it was considered.
Yeah.
You know what?
100%.
You're right. For real.
100%.
And then like I watched it recently, like I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's funny as hell.
Funny as hell.
When Boomerang came out, they considered that a flop too. They thought it was terrible.
Boomerang.
And
That's
it's a classic for sure.
How we discovered Tony Braxton as a musical artist.
Man.
They get it wrong a lot.
They get it wrong,
Get it
especially
wrong
when it
a
comes to
lot.
black art. I
agree.
I think the people know. And what's funny is after all this time, it's almost like people are still surprised when black art does well or we come out and support it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, wow, like it's really I'm like, yeah, we like our shit.
Yeah.
Like we work hard, and if it's good and it's musical and it's soulful, we're gonna support. But I feel like a lot of music, especially movies, felt like they were underserved. But there's a lot of movies I used to watch. Like I was just talking about how of the musical movies, like the biopics that came out. People don't talk about the Frankie Lyman movie, and I love
Why Do Fools
that
Fall in
movie.
Love?
Oh, yeah.
That's another cult classic.
Cult
That didn't-
classic.
Classic.
It wasn't a runaway hit at the box office.
Nah,
but
with,
everybody knows that movie.
Yeah.
Can I
Lorenz
talk
Tate.
about Michael Jackson with Flex?
You know what?
Can I go that cult classic?
That's just a
That's
cult.
not a cult classic.
That's a cult, not
Can
a
I go-
classic.
No, I done watched it a few times though.
You have?
See what I'm saying? Check it. Come on, man.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
It feels good at derailing it. I see what he's doing. Yeah.
I can't support that. I can't support it.
We sound crazy.
All time to get exposed, gang. Banned from around here, nigga. Come get off your show, savage. Say you pussy and he hit it
On BS, 21 Savage, Drake. That's on my playlist this week. What y'all listening to?
Oh, good question.
Ooh, very good question.
You surprised the shit out of me. That
Yes,
wasn't
you
right.
did.
Yes,
you did.
That's on my playlist. The whole,
Yo, I just heard that the Division record.
Yeah.
Where they sampled John
Yeah.
Legend.
Yeah.
I fuck
They
with
sampled
that
John Legend. I
Right?
want to hear it.
John Legend. Yeah,
I haven't listened to it yet. So I want to hear it.
Legend.
I like it.
Legend.
Take it slow. I know what you're on at this time of night. When you turn around and just take it slowly when you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a vibe, right?
You put me on.
Yay.
There's an artist I discovered. Maybe you guys know him. It's a Colombia artist named Q. And it's this guy. He has a song called Street Driver. And the vibe is almost kind of like Terrence Trent D'Arby. Kind of, but it has his own vibe. But I heard it and I just looked it up right away and I was like, I love this.
Wow.
Hey, is your story the same from
That feel good.
when you had nothing to hold but the game? I could show you more than you wanted. What will it be? Time will tell if you
Q, Stereo Driver. I like that.
dig
That's
that.
good.
That's real good.
It just stopped me in my tracks. I was like,
solid.
this feels
Q,
warm.
Stereo driver. I gotta
Yeah.
add that.
Stereo Driver.
Chuck Harmony, what you listening to?
I can't get this. What's his name? Sam Smith. Unholy.
That's a record.
I can't get that hook out of my head at all.
That's a record, boy. That's a record.
Mom it up, now daddy's getting hot at the body shop, doing something unholy. He's sat back while she's dropping it. She be popping it, yeah, she put it down slowly. Oh, we go.
Sam Smith.
Yeah, that song is
Sam
hot.
Smith.
Featuring,
That's
who's that? How do I say? Kim Petras?
Kim Petras, yeah.
Petras. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. That's a crazy hook.
Yeah.
Crazy hook.
That's
That's going number one already. And
yeah,
we
worldwide,
did.
worldwide,
Yeah.
worldwide.
Globally.
Globally. What about you, Timon?
So I've been playing the breaks off of this young lady named Gogo Morrow. She has an EP called Ready, and it's a song called With You featuring Simba.
When I'm with you. Sorry. Okay.
Not Tony Terry.
Sorry.
Real call back.
I was thinking of Phil. I was honoring Phil.
Gogo
You
Morrow
honor me?
featuring Simba.
Absolutely.
And it samples Dr. Dre.
Okay.
Man.
I never heard that before.
I dig that.
Go Mara and Simba.
Go-Go Mara, okay.
LB over here. I knew I heard that H Money at the beginning. Man, that's good, bro. That's jeez.
That's a heavy sample to live up to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. You got to kill it.
Oh, got you. Got you. That makes sense.
Phil, give me your Mount Rushmore of music. All genres.
Good Lord.
Mount
Rushmore.
Rushmore in terms of like artists? Or
Let's go
Just your
artists.
favorite. Just
your artists. Let's go artists.
Your best of the best of the best of the best. Top.
Okay, Michael Jordan. Oh, me. Okay. Oh man. Wow. Okay. Me. Let's start there. Let's start there. Yeah,
Talk your shit.
Today. No. Stevie.
The best.
Gotta do Stevie. The
ultimate
songwriting, playing, singing, like
poetry.
He had it all.
of it.
I'm a big fan of Billy Joel.
Yeah, man.
Hello.
We're going to that concert on Friday in Atlanta.
Listen,
Word.
Yeah,
Billy
man.
Joel is my
Yeah,
favorite
man.
artist of all time. The songwriter, the New York song.
Crazy.
You're the only person who said that. I never hear people give him his props, man.
Oh man, give him his flowers immediately.
Billy's the best.
Let's see. Who else? Let's go with, Prince.
Prince.
You got to go Prince.
Prince.
You can't leave him out, okay?
Cannot leave out Prince.
He's very important to put him in there. And, oh man. MJ.
Wow.
MJ, Prince, Billy Joel, Stevie Wonder.
You know what's scary?
It's crazy.
You know what's scary?
It's tough.
Is
I
how
wanna put-
close to my Mount Rushmore that is.
What's yours, Claude?
It would be that, and I would have to figure out who to bump for Bob Marley. That's the only thing I would change in there. I don't know who
Because
that-
I was on
I might
Toss Up
swap
with
out
Marvin
Prince.
Gaye.
I might swap out Prince for Bob Marley. But it's so close. Like it's really close.
Wow.
Because MJ and Billy Joel are my childhood.
Yeah.
Like that's who I go back to every time. And then Bob Marley is my roots. I'm Jamaican, so ain't no music like Bob Marley as far as I'm concerned. And Stevie is the very best to ever do it. Please play some BJ.
The storytelling with Billy Joel.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's done it better.
Nope.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man.
That's the hook.
Sing us a song tonight.
Come on,
Well, we're
John,
all
come
in the mood for a melody, and you got us feeling alright.
Listen, man. Billy.
So crazy.
And let me add really quickly, and this is not because he's my friend, but I believe when it's all said and done, Bruno's going to be there too.
Yeah.
It's early, it's
100%.
only
Yeah.
a few albums, but I think by album 10,
Yes.
Yeah.
forget about it.
Yes.
Who
Yeah.
you got, Phil?
Yeah.
Who's your Mount Rushmore?
We doing.
Are we doing the round today? Oh,
come on, man.
It might have changed. I know.
It might have changed,
I know Brian
man.
McKnight's one of them, but
Man, you know what? I did see Brian McKnight at that restaurant in LA recently.
and you had an opportunity to
Smack-
heal.
Yeah, I ain't healed nothing, man. We
He,
healed.
he has strong feelings about Brian McKnight.
You ever met Brian McKnight?
McKnight.
You ever met Brian?
I have.
Was he nice?
He was.
Oh.
Oh, what do you know?
Keeping track. One. Okay, got it. My Mount Rushmore, let's see, it would not be Tony Terry or Brian McKnight.
Okay.
I definitely say Stevie.
Yeah, Steveland.
Aretha.
Stevie. she would say Stevie, myself. Go on.
Jay-Z.
Hove. Jay-Z.
Young.
Young Hove.
And Kirk Franklin.
That's good. That's a real good
I like
one.
that. I like that.
That's a good one.
No great gowns, no beautiful gowns in that list. Kirk is. Yeah. All right, come on, give it to us.
Well, y'all know two of them. Whitney. Luther.
Luth.
Big Luth. Big Luth and Little Luth.
Big Luth. It gotta be Big Luth.
Gotta be Big Luth.
Yeah.
Medium size.
Yeah.
Medium-sized Luth?
In between. So Whitney, Luther, Donny Hathaway, and Brandy.
So I want to proudly say that everyone here has taste because no one said anything that was crazy.
You ain't heard mine yet, though.
Oh damn. Oh Lord.
Now I'm gonna go Ray Charles for sure.
Rickety Ray.
I'm gonna do Quincy Jones as an artist, not just as a producer, as an artist.
Okay.
I'm gonna do R. Kelly.
Alrighty.
One of the best that ever do it.
Wow. Oh.
And did I say Stevie already?
Not yet. We did though.
Stevie.
Dang.
Chuck, you know what? I applaud you,
love
man,
that.
for saying R. Kelly, all things considered.
You know.
That's a bold statement.
He's one of the best to ever do it. I can't take that away.
I agree.
It's real.
That's real.
It's real.
Some people can't separate the art from the artist.
I can.
No. I can. I will say that in the process of trying to separate it, there's just his music did a thing, right?
Yeah.
So there's this weird, awkward gap as we reminisce and talk about 90s music and versus battle ourselves to death. I just feel like, yeah, man, he's one of the best to ever do it. And it's hard to dance around it. We're all doing it, but it's hard to dance around because there's a lot of influence there on R&B today and R&B back then, and especially for black male R&B. It's big.
More so than Tony Terry?
Nothing can eclipse Tony.
No one
No one.
can eclipse Tony Terry.
It's impossible.
We sound crazy.
I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright. Strawberry champagne on ice.
Lucky for you, that's what I like.
I mean, that's
what I like.
That's the brilliance of Bruno.
Yeah.
That pocket was all him.
That's pocket, bro.
Yeah.
All
That's
him.
all pocket.
Yeah, man.
There's very few people that are doing music on that level. Also, one of the best Super Bowl shows.
Yeah.
Might I add?
Now, were you referring to the first one or the second one? I'm just.
Wait. Did I say? Was I saying it out loud?
Definitely the first or the second one, though.
That's a good question. That's actually a good question.
Yeah.
I would say the first one only because by the second one it was different, but you knew the energy he was going to bring.
What was going to happen?
The first one was a return to showmanship.
Yeah.
On any stage, but especially that stage that was so needed that I got to give it to the first one because it was just like I was dancing. I don't know where I was, but I remember I was dancing in front of the television. Wow. And music. It's been a long time since music made me feel that way. And very few artists now can do that. So that was crazy. To me, it's top 5 Super Bowls of all time. I don't know what the top 5 is, but it's up there in the top, whatever the top 5 is. It was pristine, premium.
I remember seeing, like, after not just that performance, but just what you all have done as far as, like, the whole Bruno Mars movement. Like, just seeing, like, little kids on social media, like, trying to replicate the moves.
Yeah.
I don't think we had seen anything like that since Michael Jackson.
Agreed.
And just to see that again in this day and age where we have access to so much and we can choose from whatever we want, like, it was dope to see. And, like, hearing that made me think back to, like, I was at a football game one time, and whenever they played that record, like, everybody on both sides, and you could see everybody just swaying.
What is it like performing at the damn Super Bowl? I mean,
crazy.
Come on. Like, very few people can say they did that and experience that. Like, just talk about it, please. Yeah. That's crazy.
You know, it's interesting, man, because when you're on the train the train's going. And these opportunities come before you. And I think a lot of times it's not until later that you get to reflect on the significance of what you did and what you were able to experience. Because for a long time, we just went. You know, it was this, that, and the other. But I do recall, though, the first Super Bowl was insane from the standpoint of there was a moment where Bruno had gone out and did Just the Way You Are by himself. And so we had a moment to like breathe and look around.
Take it in.
And I remember looking around like, wow.
Right.
I think it was 75,000 people. And sweating and out of breath. And it was something I'll never forget. But the feeling was just gratitude. You know what I mean? It was like, wow, we really out here like this.
Doing the damn thing.
Doing it like this. And, you know, watching my boy, you know, sing Just the Way You Are with a spotlight on him and the whole audience is singing it. You know, and you all know this, like when you're close with somebody and you get to watch them succeed, something magical happens in that.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it's just like, man, I'm watching my boy go kill it. And even, you know, like more recently, you know, I hadn't been with the band for a while, and he and Anderson were doing their Silk Sonic thing, and I got to see them perform in Vegas. And I was just like, wow.
You're doing it.
Doing it in a whole new way, and I wasn't in it, and it was beautiful.
You can enjoy it.
I could enjoy it and like give it up to my friends continuing to deliver at that kind of level.
That's awesome, man.
It's crazy.
That support is also one of a kind because the music industry can be cold, and dark and tough. So when you find friends and business partners, like I find with Chuck, we work together. We're best friends as well, and you can like genuinely find people that are happy for you, that support you. Everyone here, like I mean, we're like a real family. You got to hold on to that.
You do.
Because it can be cold out there in the shark-infested waters.
Come on, man. There's fins everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. That's awesome that you feel that way after all this time together making hits together.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. And even, you know, as far back as we go, as far back as we all go.
Yeah.
You know, there's when there's like a genuine, authentic connection.
Yeah.
That doesn't go away.
No,
you know?
it shouldn't go away.
Yeah.
I'm interested in knowing, what is your first musical memory?
In life in general?
In life, like the first record you bought, the first video you remember seeing, like what was that light bulb moment for you?
Well, for me, it was performing. Okay. So I'm from Indiana. Okay. And I have a brother and sister who sing. And my dad used to host the talent show, the local talent show. And the talent show was the only event of the year that mattered. And it was like maybe 2,500 people in attendance. And the very first year we got a chance to do it, I think I was 5. My brother was 5, I was 6, my sister was 8. And we were on stage and we performed this gospel song, I am a promise, I am a possibility. And we had these velvet suits on, suits awesome. About that big.
I wish there was footage of this. There needs to be footage.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's definitely footage. And it was that moment when the crowd roared. Wow. And they were like, wow. I was like, okay, this is it. I'm hooked. Dope. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And we won first place that year and every year after. Like we were like these little...
Like I've been winning ever since. Been winning. Don't sleep.
Been winning.
But like we were just hooked, man. Hooked.
Your brother and sister are still singing gospel.
They are indeed.
I mean, it ain't... So the music runs in the family and the original band is still together.
Still together. And it's part of the reason why I'm here in Nashville. Yeah. It's a nice little segue right there.
Nice little segue. See what you did there,
Claude? I did there.
That was all right. I should have gave you some of their records to put in right now real quick.
We'll put them in.
We'll put them in.
Okay. Yeah. All right. No, you know, we have been working on an album for them for maybe the past 5-6 years. And the time is finally now for them to be introduced to the world. And I think some of the best work I've been a part of is in their album.
Great. What are their names?
Shane and Dee Dee.
Shane and Dee Dee.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to hear this.
I can't wait.
I really
the
cannot.
Lawrences.
The Lawrences,
It's
baby.
gonna be so. I haven't heard, and I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, we need some freshness to gospel.
Stay tuned.
Fresh anointing.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
So Phil, you're involved with this too. The two. Phils
I don't know.
are-
I don't know what you're saying a lot right now, Claude Kelly. You know?
I'm trying to
I
prophesy.
just
over the situation.
prophesy,
I'm trying to
receive the
manifest
prophetic
them.
word.
Yeah, I'm trying to say
that
like
you're trying to,
I've heard that two Phils are better than one.
Ooh, okay.
So I feel like,
Two Phils.
Well, I'll guarantee this. No matter what happens, I mean, yeah, we're all friends. So I mean, Phil's gonna make sure something happens anyway. That's the way he is.
we working on.
We figuring it out.
Yeah.
That's the way he is. I'm excited to hear it though. Real talk.
I can't wait for
Music's
you to hear
incredible.
It is. See, so you got the inside scoop, dude.
I can't tell everything.
Well,
We sound-
send me some stuff.
I want to hear it too.
Yeah,
Send
you
me
gotta
some
hear
music.
it. You gotta hear it. It's special.
So Philip, we got a game here that we play. We sound crazy called Keep or Kill.
Yes.
Ooh.
And it's where we give you two names or two options, and you keep the one that's your preference. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with the other, but just this is my preference. So like, if I say Tony Terry, Donny Hathaway, I'm keeping Donny Hathaway. You know what I mean? So just
Because you are Tony Terry. Got it.
Understood. That's obvious. Duh.
All right, so we're gonna kick it off. Michael Jackson or Prince?
Dirty.
It's like y'all gonna do it like that?
Yeah, he plays dirty.
Wow. I think I have to keep. Woo! I think I have to keep. I think I gotta keep Prince.
Ooh.
And that's merely from the fearlessness of his artistry.
Yeah.
And how unique of a talent he was. Now, obviously, it's hard to compare those two because they're both legends in their own way. But there's something about being an artist and a songwriter and, trying to do things that most people aren't doing in a very, very original way. I think that Prince is he epitomizes that.
Well put. I agree with you.
Usher or Chris Brown?
I gotta keep Usher.
Usher,
baby.
Whitney or Mariah?
I gotta keep Whitney.
He's got taste.
Love Mariah.
Love Mariah.
Of course.
This is her month. These are her months right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Brandy or Jasmine Sullivan?
Damn, Phil.
Doing it like that. Trying to make enemies for me out of these streets.
He's trying to work.
Well, I don't think that there would be a Jasmine without Brandy, so we gotta go with Brandy.
Ooh.
Timon's like, next.
Speaking of Brandy, Brandy long distance or Millen and Fiona, Johnny?
Let's go with long distance. Yeah,
Great
it's a
song.
good one.
I got one for you. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis or Quincy Jones?
Woo! Wow.
Damn, child.
Cut the cameras. Oh man! Wow. You think of Quincy from the orchestration and the jazz days and the wow. That's breaking my heart a little bit, man. Because I think I'm going to have to choose Quincy. As much as I think I got to go Quincy.
Off the wall Thriller.
Thriller, I used to sleep with that album. Like it meant that much to me. Reading it and living with it as a kid. Off the Wall, I appreciate more as a songwriter and a creator. So I think for little me, childhood me, I gotta keep Thriller.
Okay.
Uptown Funk or That's What I Like?
I don't like none of them records. And if you ask me about that again,
I'm a slap. That's crazy.
Uptown Funk, That's What I Like. Oh man. Let's go with Uptown Funk.
Wow. Mary J. Blige or Faith Evans?
Y'all really do this to people?
Yes, we do. We do.
Let's go with Mary.
That's a really
Faith,
hard
though.
one. I know
Faith,
what I'm
that's
saying.
hard because Faith is special,
cold.
man. And she doesn't get enough flowers. You know what? Let's go with Faith.
Let's have a little faith.
Let's
like
have
that.
a little faith.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's give her flowers right now.
Because most people would go with Mary. I like that.
You know, I love me some Faith. It's
Her records.
It's one of the best sessions me and Chuck ever had.
Really?
I was working with Faith. She kicked us out of the studio. No, but we did a song for her called "Tears of Joy."
Yeah.
And Chuck and I did it, and we went down to Atlanta to do it, and we laid the backgrounds down, and then she wanted to do the leads, and we were sitting there, and she was in the booth, and she was kind of humming. She was like, "Can I ask y'all a question?" We're like, "Yeah." She's like, "Can y'all leave so I can sing it?" And we're like, "Okay." And we literally, first of all, we could have gone anywhere, but we just sat in the car
for hours,
for
like
hours,
6 or 7 hours.
and then she texted and said, like, "Y'all can come back in now." When we came back in, it was Tears of Joy.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, she's shy in the
That's a
studio.
great story.
Like, she kicked JD out on, was it True Love? I've seen her kick many out. Pharrell's been kicked out, so.
I've never been so happy to get kicked out.
Yeah, you're in good company.
When we came back and we heard what it was,
it made sense.
Continue to kick people out.
Kick me out anytime, yeah. And she's super cool.
So Def for Bad Boy.
Bad Boy.
Cash Money or No Limit.
Cash Money.
I got one for you.
Oh, only for the longevity, I think.
Devontae Swing or Timberland.
Just evil. Timberland.
Wow.
Boys to Men or Jodeci.
Shy.
Them octaves used to kill me because I came with them octaves in the harmony. I can't.
The thing is, his answer was so fast, I lightweight believe him. He's like, Shy.
What you got?
Man, I love Boys to Men. But I think I might have to go with Jodeci.
Gotta go with Jodeci.
SWV or Escape.
SWV.
Bruno Mars or Usher.
He's like, I'm gonna get one in.
He's gonna get one in there. That's messed up. Usher Mars?
Usher Mars it is.
Usher Mars.
Usher Mars.
Usher Mars.
Stevie Wonder or Billy Joel.
This is out of hand now.
Then it's disrespectful. Now.
It's completely disrespectful.
I know what I would say though.
Well, I'll do it from the perspective of what I listen to more on a regular basis in terms of where I go. I think that's Billy Joel.
Me too.
That's awesome.
And, you know, it's not I don't think it's a who's better. It's who has kind of like helped me on my musical and like songwriting journey.
Makes sense though.
I still stream him the most every year.
Really?
Yes, he gets the most. When I get my little Spotify Wrapped,
Billy Joel wins
it's
again.
like Billy Joel, Piano Man, and scenes from an Italian restaurant, all that kind of stuff, for sure.
Touring or recording in the studio.
Stage. Yeah.
Make some noise.
That was Phil gave you the hardest keeper kill of life. Like y'all were. I didn't even throw one out. Y'all were just throwing them.
That was wrong, is what that was.
It was wrong. It was wrong.
Wow.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
But I think I agree with almost everything you said.
Yeah. Come on, baby.
It's just
Give him octaves, bro.
Give him the octaves.
I can't.
Give him the octaves.
Oh God.
I can't. I cannot.
Yo, I feel like you're such a likable person. Has there ever been like, have you ever had a bad run-in with someone? Like, you seem like everyone would love you. Like, have you ever been like let down by someone or just played? Because I feel like everybody loves Phil. That's a
good
that's
TV
a
show.
sitcom
It
right
is.
there.
I don't think so. Maybe a couple of comments, you know.
A couple of
Couple like Instagram comments.
couple smart ass comments.
You ain't shit type comments.
I feel like everybody gets those at some point. gets a little bit of hate. I mean, you genuinely are the same all the time, but also like a pleasure and a happy person to be around.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I would hope.
I wish I could say that about you, but
I know I'm working on myself. I'm working on me. Let's
get you there, man.
I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get right.
We sound crazy.
Captivating, stimulating. She's such a sexy lady. Filled with space safe design.
She's moving, she's grooving, dancing until the music stops now. Yeah.
Go ahead.
he got there, though.
He meant it.
Yeah.
Was that Jermaine?
I think that
Jermaine.
was
Jermaine.
Jermaine.
So
Who's
Phil,
Jermaine?
early this year, you actually hosted this show called Come Dance with Me.
I did indeed.
Come Dance with Me on CBS. It was
Yeah.
CBS, right?
CBS.
Yeah. So how the hell did you get to host the show, man? It was crazy, man. I mean, you were great, by the way.
Thank you, man.
How did that whole process come about?
You know, I was, I had built a relationship with CBS. They had reached out to me when I signed with UTA. They asked me some of the things that I wanted to do. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'd love to try TV in some kind of way. I don't know what that means yet. And I was going into CBS to pitch another show. And the two people that I pitched to, they were like, we don't really like your show, but we like you. They're like, we might try to find something for you. And so a little bit of time went by, and then they called me in to film a pilot that we're going to bring back. Remember that 70s show, Name That Tune?
Yeah.
They eventually ended up doing it with Randy Jackson, I think, and Elizabeth Banks. But they wanted me to be kind of like the co-host.
Okay.
And so we filmed the pilot, and it didn't end up, getting picked up in our iteration of it, but it ingratiated me with CBS. And they were like, all right, that didn't work, but there's got to be something else. And then this Come Dance With Me show came around, and we filmed the pilot January of 2020. So it was just before the world changed.
The world went upside down.
Upside down, and then a year later, we filmed it in Australia because it was the only place that was open at the time.
Wow.
And it's amazing.
You want to keep hosting, doing more hosting?
I do. I can't speak about it now, but I'm in talks with doing something else.
Oh, no one's paying attention. You can just tell us.
No one's watching. Yeah. I'm working on it though.
You really are good at like a lot of things.
I love a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's all of us. We're good at things that we love.
Yeah, sure.
I just happen to love a lot of things.
Right. That's good. Right. That's good. That's good.
And I think I just want to ring out life. I want to make sure that when I'm done, I did everything that God gifted me with. I used every bit of myself.
That's crazy.
That's
my saying. I say when I leave this earth, I want to die empty.
Empty.
Ooh, that's good.
Empty. Bankrupt. All of it.
Bro.
Bankrupt.
Like I gave it all. Because I think that all of us, have a unique purpose and reason for being here. And none of us are the same. None of us are alike. A lot of us do a lot of the same things, but your voice is not my voice, and vice versa, and the way you think. So I think it's like almost a responsibility for each of us to pursue everything that we are moved to pursue.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Like that's our contribution to the world. Nobody can contribute what you can contribute.
So true.
So don't shy away from that. Don't play, coy. Go after it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Let, pray about it. Be grateful and humble about it. Because it all works the same way. Like it can't be ego driven. It can't be about you. But it's about, God, where do you want me to be?
That's so good.
Preach to us, please.
Yeah, that's so
Come on,
good.
Pastor.
Man, come on, somebody. Come on.
And that's good. That's the heart and soul of it right there. That's what life is about.
I think so, man. I think so.
Well, I think you're crazy.
Oh, Lord.
Are you crazy?
Is the whole world gone crazy?
Is everybody out there nuts?
And now it's time for
Corner.
Looking so crazy right now. Looking so crazy right now.
So crazy right now.
Go to the corner. Oh, okay.
Go to the corner.
Y'all be wilding in here.
Crazy corner.
Crazy corner.
Crazy corner where we put somebody in timeout essentially. In the corner. We've talked about many over the set of the weeks, but this week I'm gonna nominate Annie Cook.
Who's Annie Cook?
Annie Cook, a woman from North Carolina who dialed 911 and complained that the pulled pork that she ordered was undercooked.
And her name is Cook?
Yeah. So I can't make this up. She called 911 because her pulled pork at Clyde Cooper's barbecue restaurant was pink.
Oh, God.
The customer, Annie Cook, decided to phone the Raleigh police. The owner of the establishment, Debbie Holt, said that she found the incident amusing since she informed Cook that smoked barbecue pork turns pink. But the customer insisted that her meal wasn't thoroughly cooked or done. Cook was allowed to switch to white chicken, but she still called 911 about the incident. Like, what would make you go to a barbecue spot?
Did they lock her ass up?
They should. This is why. This is crazy.
Crazy corner for sure.
Not 911.
But she goes on to defend her position. She says, quote, every barbecue I've had is all the way done. You don't see pink at all. I asked if they could cook it some more, that I'm not eating any pink barbecue. That is not supposed to be pink, but I've never had it this way. But why would you call 911? This is waste
So you can tell she don't know how to order a steak.
Yeah.
But it's the 911 part.
It's the 911.
It's the 911 for me.
Over damn barbecue?
She called the authorities.
Over some damn barbecue.
Who are required by law to respond to your emergency.
Yes.
Can you imagine the cops showing up to the barbecue joint thinking some shit actually happened? Yeah, like...
Ma'am, can you send us some pictures of the barbecue?
Wait, so they actually went to the restaurant?
If you call 911, they have to come.
They have to come. Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so, and what's her name? Annie Cook? She going in the corner for me this week.
Yeah, she can stay in the corner too.
Yeah, she needs to sit there for a minute.
Sorry.
Cook your own damn pulled pork. Like,
I mean, I ain't heard nothing crazier than that this week. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's the craziest shit I heard.
People call 911 about really that's crazy.
I can't imagine the kind of shit that like the authorities, the police, but especially the 911 operators have to deal with, because that's the kind of dumb shit. In a day, they probably get all kind of crazy calls like that about pulled pork.
Pulled pork is special.
About pulled pork, my dude. Stay in the corner.
That says so much about.
But they can't lock her up for doing something like. They can't really They can't lock her up on the spot for calling about some bullshit. Like they.
So I mean, sometimes if you run up enough money, if you waste enough of the city's time, that's what happened to Jussie Smollett.
Alleged? No, do I have to? No, I don't want to say allegedly. Right?
I mean, they were trying to get their money back for all the city money wasted in the whole investigation if it wasn't true. So they can charge you for that money and the time and the staff that you waste. So she wasted some staff time that day.
Yeah, she did.
She definitely wasted.
Over some pulled pork.
Annie Cook, you are in the corner this week.
You're in the corner.
Stay there, Missy.
Dodo.
Looking at my rolling.
I can feel him moving, moving, moving. I can feel him moving, 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 moving on the altar of my heart. Every now and then.
The Lord is my shepherd.
All right, so looking at my roll, it's about that time. That's Esther Roll, by the way. Phil,
Esther Roll.
Esther Roll,
Come on, of course.
the actress, the singer.
Damn.
Right.
That's her gospel album.
It's a gospel album.
Word?
Yeah. Garden of My Mind.
It was her
Got to
birthday
pick that
yesterday.
up.
Yeah.
It was her birthday?
Timon put us on. It was her birthday. It was Esther Roll's birthday, man.
Shout out Esther Roll. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Miss Roll.
So Phil, every week we nominate a nominee that we feel like is under-celebrated or underappreciated, whether they be in music, TV, film, entertainment in general, and we nominate them, we vote, and then we crown them the winner of the Esther Roll Black Excellence Award. So we named the award after Esther.
Esther Roll.
Yeah.
That's a great award.
Yeah.
It's got to be someone that don't get their flowers enough.
Like we were just talking about with Faith.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Those kind
She's actually a previous Irving winner.
She's one
Is that right?
She's a recipient.
I like that.
See, there's like the Grammys and the Oscars, and then up here, It's the Herbies.
The Herbs.
So
the Herbies. Okay.
You want to go? You want to start? Or do you want one of us to start?
One of you guys start. Let me simmer.
I'm gonna actually reflect. I was in Los Angeles a few days ago at the Merge Award. Shout out to Dr. Holly Carter. A lot of great honorees. Charles King. Who else was honored? Morgan DeBon. It was just so many great people. PJ Morton. Great list of people. But one of the people who was the big honorees that evening was someone who actually showed me that you could actually work on the music side at a record label, but also produce content, TV, film, Broadway, etc. And I had the pleasure of meeting her after the event, Suzanne DePaz.
Is there proof that y'all met? Is there a photo?
Hey, I sent y'all a photo on the group chat. Come on, man, don't do it. Hey, I was like a kid. I'm like, I went up to her, like she was mad cool, like, and just but when you meet the greats like that, it's great to let them, know, like, yo, you inspired me. Yes. Like you actually showed me there was a way, but just Suzanne DePaz, you can't knock it. She's still working to this day.
I love.
Wow.
Discovered the Jacksons. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like just
yeah.
Hello.
Legend.
She's a previous nominee.
That's iconic.
She didn't win last time?
She didn't win.
Well, she gonna win this time.
We hope.
No, but shout out Suzanne DePaz is my nomination this week for the Herbie.
Who next?
Interesting.
I want to nominate. I want to nominate an artist that I feel like gets overlooked a lot. Has some amazing songs, and sometimes I feel like there's a group of Black artists that get excluded if they're not a certain kind of gospel, R&B, or pop. So I want to nominate CeeLo.
Wow. I like CeeLo.
Because we don't give him his flowers. But Kiss from a Rose alone, crazy.
Banana.
Just lots of songs, and he's just a different kind of artist. But he deserves to be celebrated. So CeeLo is my nominee.
That's great. It's a good one.
Timon?
I'm going to put somebody on the table that was previously nominated. And I've been listening to a lot of their records recently. And they're from Greenville, South Carolina, Peebo Bryson.
Peebo!
Like we talk about the Donny Hathaways, we talk about the Stevies. I think he came, and he's in no comparison to them, but he did carve out his own lane in terms of the vocal.
Baby, can you stop?
He had me in my room at like 10 trying to sing those notes. So yeah, Peebo Bryson.
Much respect to Peebo. He just cleared a song for a film I did. So
really?
Much respect to Peebo.
Shout out to Peebo.
A whole new world.
A whole new world.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I'm going to nominate Drew Hill.
Okay.
The choir?
No, Drew Hill.
The choir. It's 8 of them. It's like,
no, but I saw them perform recently. I think it was an older clip. And Jazz from Drew Hill don't get the credit he deserves for being a crazy vocalist. Them brothers be singing.
They do.
And they stand up amongst the greats of Black R&B music. So.
But it's just too many though, bro. Like it's Drew Hill, then it's Player, and then it's 2 other people who kind of floated in and out. It's a choir, bro.
It is a choir.
But if you put that Drew Hill catalog up against that Jodeci catalog, it's difficult.
Yeah.
They got some records.
They got some records.
Yeah,
They got some records now.
Man.
Okay.
Drew Hill, Drew Hill choir. We got him down.
The choir.
Drew Hill men's choir. Cool.
Okay, I think I got mine.
Okay. Here we go.
My nomination.
Hit us.
It's not Tony Terry. I'm just going to say that. It almost was.
It's close.
We throwing that out. Shout out to Tony. A lot of times in history when we talk about great bands, great groups, Earth, Wind, and Fire, I think Kool in the Gang.
Kool in the Gang,
doesn't get enough shine. Kool in the Gang. I want to nominate them.
He just made it very difficult.
Especially given how they started from jazz, made their way through.
People don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, man.
I don't think I knew that.
I was going to ask you which version of Kool in the Gang, the more pop commercial Kool in the Gang, or
I think the in between.
Yeah,
not quite the jazz, not quite, but there was a period of maybe a decade or so where they were doing some.
I'm about to go home and go down the rabbit hole on Kool in the Gang.
Well, that's where they got where D'Angelo got. Doo, 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 doo.
Really?
Set it right. That was a Kool in the Game record.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Send it up. Send it on.
Yeah.
Man, I was today years old.
I was today years old.
Today years old.
All right, so this is gonna be a hard ass vote.
All right, so just to recap, we got Suzanne DePaz, we got CeeLo, we got Peebo Bryson, Drew Hill Men's Choir, and Cool in the Game.
The shade on Drew Hill is.
I like Drew Hill. I'm just saying, bro. That's a choir, bro. That's rough. Hated them niggas on stage when I saw them at Black Music Conference.
Boys like that.
All right, so let's vote and see what happens here. Call them out, Phil. Show up. You guys raise your hand.
All you black men better raise your hands for Suzanne the Past. Make some noise. That sounded like 5 right there. You see 5? You counting 5?
That's 5.
Seal.
Y'all are racist. Just racist.
Peebo Bryson. Drew Hill Men's Choir.
3.
Cool in the Game.
Wow.
Suzanne.
Suzanne, I told you was gonna win it, baby. I know
Suzanne. Unanimous.
Unanimous. Congratulations, Suzanne the
I mean,
Past.
come on.
This week's winner for the Estoril Black Excellence Award.
That was hard, though.
That was hard. That's a great, that was a, man.
It's a good lineup.
Because they all deserve their flowers.
We sound crazy.
Yo, so I was today years old when I found out that That's What Friends Are For, you know, the Dionne Warwick classic. Had Gladys Knight, Stevie Wonder, and Elton John.
Your boy?
That's my guy. Yo, that's a cover.
What?
Yeah.
The cover.
Yeah.
The original. Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart?
Yeah.
No way.
And you can always count on me for sure. That's what friends are for the good times and the bad times.
I don't know why. I'm around that one.
Yeah, they needed to update that.
For the good times.
Yeah, that was 1982. Rod Stewart, they put it out. It was on the Night Shift original soundtrack album.
Wow. I had no idea.
1982. Nominated for a Grammy for Song of the Year. Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
That's what it says right here.
Wow.
So it didn't just slide through. It was a Grammy.
That's unbelievable.
When did the Dionne Warwick record come out?
85.
So
3 years later.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And nobody's talking about
No,
that.
but don't you feel like back then, like people did covers really fast behind?
Yeah.
Like now
Yeah.
you wait a good decade or so.
Right.
But people like Dionne and Aretha would hear your song and that weekend, and they're like, I'm going to the studio next week to steal all your shine. Like, I know Rod is pissed.
Man, Stevie said, I'll do it if y'all fix that pocket.
Right.
If you let me change that pocket.
Because the pocket was corrected.
That was weird.
Wow.
And I love that song too.
It's very white.
So good.
Yeah.
It's very white.
It was very white.
Wow, Timon.
I do love Rod Stewart though.
Yeah.
That's
His
one
voice
of
is
those
crazy.
voices that
Voice is crazy.
he doesn't get enough flowers.
If you think I'm standing, he's great voice.
Yeah,
but not that song.
We sound crazy.
I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you and fuck her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. Now ain't that some shit? And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. But the fuck you. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't afford a Ferrari. But that don't mean I can't get you there.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's a classic, bro.
Yeah. Listen.
Is it true CeeLo didn't want the record at first? Is that true? Or is that a bad rumor I heard?
That's a bad rumor.
Okay.
Yeah. The story was we're like CeeLo's biggest fans, and we got the call to work with him, and we were frightened. Niggas was scared. I was like, yo, what are we gonna give? Because he had just done Crazy, which is one of my all-time favorite songs ever. What are we gonna give this dude? And we were bricking, and we couldn't come up with anything. So we were like, all right, let's just come up with an idea to break the ice. Let's make him laugh. If we make him laugh, maybe he'll like us and he'll stick around, and then we'll come up with the idea.
Okay.
And that was
That's how that song started.
Wow.
Well, we thought it was gonna be a joke.
Wow.
And, you know, we started singing it around. I mean, we felt like, you know, it was a vibe.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, who's gonna sing that? But he shows up and, what y'all got? Y'all got something? We're like, oh man, you know, we was trying to like stall a little bit. Just like, oh, you know, we got this little idea. Go on and play it for me, baby. Go on, play it for me now. Yeah, play it. So, and I don't know if it was Brody on the keys or if it was Bruno. I forget who was playing it. But I think Bruno and I were kind of singing the ideal, see you driving around town, the girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you. Funny, right? Laugh.
He was like,
He said, oh, I really like that. Let's do that.
yeah.
I'm like, word? And we finished it.
A brave
He recorded
artist.
it that day. And
Crazy.
the rest is history.
Music history right there, bro.
Music history.
And there's a little bit of personal history in there. So we recorded it, and then there come time for the backgrounds. And so I was like, all right, I'll get it started. And I'll just figure out, some of these famous Claude Kelly backgrounds, some oohs and ahs. And I started singing, and I assumed it would be me, Bruno, and CeeLo. So I'm just doing a low part, and he would come in, do another one. I ended up doing all the backgrounds for the song. And it ended up being one of those, I was like, yo, CeeLo, like, you gotta, you really gotta come in and add. And I'm like mad insecure. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't think this is the sound you want, man. And he said, man, no, man, you sound great, baby. You sound great. I was like, for real, CeeLo, for real? You mean it, CeeLo?
Don't gas me.
Oh, CeeLo. All right, man, I'll go ahead and do it.
Oh, man.
And to this day, man, it was in my background.
Yo, that is a monster song.
Man,
That's crazy.
Smiggity smack.
Smash.
crazy. God is good.
God is good.
We sound crazy.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hits. Hits.
Man, it's been a great episode, man. Great hang with our brother, man, this week.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man.
An amazing hang.
A young legend.
Young legend.
Yeah, for sure.
Young
For sure.
Future Irby winner.
Future, hey,
Future.
You know what I'm saying?
stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
From the mind and desk of Tony Terry himself. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Y'all are crazy, man. Y'all are crazy. No, real talk, this is one of the most fun combos we've had in a while.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
And you got to
boys.
come back again and again.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
Great energy.
So Phil,
Yeah.
what's
I mean,
next?
as long as the check clears. Go ahead.
So, the check clear. I think you're clear.
It cleared. Yeah. That's why I'm here.
So Phil, you got community culture, community records, your whole multimedia company. What's in the future for you?
I'm about to retire. I've had
What?
It's,
Don't do that.
yeah, it's over. It's done.
Don't you dare.
Wait, no. Yeah, I mean, we're building this thing in Hollywood that's literally about a block away from the little red brick building where we started. We bought a couple of acres in Hollywood, and we're going to build this entertainment complex that hopefully will be like the Disneyland for artists that will house live production facilities, an amphitheater, outdoor and indoor, a public park overlooking the skyline of Hollywood, creative office space, studios, state of the. It's
I love that.
prayerfully going to be a place where, because in LA everything is so spread out. There's no real place where we all kind of go and hang. We're hoping that this will be the place right on the corner of Sunset and Highland.
Oh, damn.
Right there, right across from Hollywood High School.
What I see online, this is according to Google, $500 million creative complex is what it's saying. 500 million.
500
million.
500 million.
I knew when he said he bought some acres.
Yeah.
I knew it was some cash happening.
You're so modest with it, too.
Yeah.
Just a couple.
But it's so needed.
Yeah.
It's needed.
It's needed.
Yeah, especially in LA.
I expect it to be amazing like everything else you do.
Thank you, man.
100%.
And you still at the studio too, right? It's just
Still got the record playing studio.
the iconic record playing. Y'all know Phil, that's his.
Wait, hold on a second.
Really? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The record plant?
The record plant.
That's nuts.
I was today years old.
Yes.
It was today years old.
That's why I said what's in the future, because it's just like he keeps going just higher and higher. Like true entrepreneur.
Yes.
That's
A mogul.
A mogul.
Yeah.
That's super crazy, dude.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
Thank you. But I will say this. One of the more or the most significant things I've done in the most recent years is get sober. February 5th, 2018 was my last drink.
Wow. That's to be commended.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is, you know, what set the stage for everything that we're talking about, you know, that's happened recently. And where I really want to focus is how many more people can I help in that space that feel like, you know, they don't know how to stop doing what they're doing, or, you know, maybe found themselves in a crowd that makes it feel like it's okay to do what they're doing, to really, because, you know, for a long time, sometimes it's hard to separate success from addiction.
Yeah.
You know, people see, you know, when, or even myself, you know, I'm like, wait a minute, you've achieved these things. How could you have a problem? You know, like that has to be synonymous. Everything must be okay if you're succeeding in a particular area.
That's true.
But the real question is that I had to ask myself is, okay, are you happy? Are you genuinely happy in here? And the answer was a resounding no. And I needed to figure out why. And that's where recovery came in. And now it's like, you know, I meditate every day. You know, I go to AA meetings. You know, it's a different spiritual walk that is so, you know, close to me and important to me.
That's a whole nother level of accomplishment. Beyond the records and the music stuff and the fame and all that stuff, like bettering yourself.
Yes.
Nothing like
It's
it.
dope to hear a black man speak on that, because mental health, and it's just so taboo within the black community, period. But just with black men, it's rare that you hear someone like yourself that's been so successful speak on something as deep as that. And I appreciate you for that. Thanks.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Change is possible.
Yeah.
Change is possible. The way that we were brought into this world and the things that sometimes that we were brought up to believe about ourselves, they can change. Your perception of yourself can change. Who you are, you know, the things that maybe you don't like about yourself, or the things that you keep doing. That's, why do I keep doing that? How do I keep turning up drunk here? Or how do I, all of these things that for a long time I've just assumed was my identity. I discovered that they weren't. They were just belief systems that I had adopted to to exist. And so what I like to tell people now is that whatever you envision to be the highest version of yourself, you can attain that. You know, it's possible, you know, with God and some humility and a little bit of hard work, you know, you can do it.
Miracle worker.
Yeah, man.
That's so...
It's powerful.
It's
So
very
good.
powerful,
So good.
man. Very powerful.
Wow,
Congratulations.
Congrats, bro.
Thank
Really
you.
proud of you.
Thank
I'm just because
Thank
I've
you.
known you.
I'm going to drink tonight, but guys, this was good.
You guys, we took you there.
We commemorated it tonight.
It's been real.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Thank you again to our partners at the National Museum of African American Music. Follow them on all platforms at The Nayman.
Yeah. You should check it out if you haven't.
Yeah, I need to. I haven't yet.
It's our music on display in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah, I need to see that.
Also follow at We Sound Crazy on all platforms. Was it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok,
MySpace,
Black Planet,
OnlyFans.
All of
Oh
that.
yeah, the OnlyFans is up.
OnlyFans is up. OnlyFans is up.
I've seen it. It's crazy. Y'all be going in.
Wait a minute.
We don't be going in. We're not going in.
Shout out to our producer, Michael Johnson. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, both Tiffany's working with us today.
Two tips.
Shout out
Two tips,
LB
two
one more
Phil.
time. Y'all not
Shout
seeing
out
it.
What up,
LB in the building.
Legend.
We need to get LB to sit in this chair.
We need you next.
Why would he on the mic?
LB, look at LB like now. LB got so much wisdom. I've known LB.
So many stories.
So many stories.
Yeah, man.
So many.
So many
I
stories.
heard somebody famous served him a drink.
Yeah, we ain't good. On that note, Philip Lawrence, take us out. What song you want to send us out on this week? We always let our guest host choose a song to send us off. What you feeling today?
Let's do that Cool in the Gang thing.
Let's do it.
Let's do that Cool in the Gang thing.
Yeah, let's go ahead and, celebrate
do
one of these
that.
nominees.
Until next
Absolutely
week, y'all.
fine.
Follow us again on all platforms that We Sound Crazy. Until next week, we out of here. Thank you, Philip Lawrence.
My man, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.